Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Psalm chapter 51, verses 1 through 3, 7 and 10. Have mercy on me, Elohim, according to your loving kindness, according to the multitude of your tender mercy. Blot out my transgression. Wash me thoroughly from my lawlessness and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Purge me with Esaac, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Create in me a clean heart, O Elohim, and renew a right spirit within me.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, Fix Me, Yah.
Yahshua, fix me. Oh, Yah, fix me. Oh, Yah, fix me. Fix me,
The oracles of the UCI. 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby ye are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather given of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth. Therefore, let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you, to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom. Convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. The scripture reading for the choir, one of the verse 3, and it says, "For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before you." What we have to ask is, what is it going to take for us to acknowledge it? See, there are two modes of operation that happens, and this is what makes it confusing when Yahweh is dealing with something. Yahweh is doing expose and then erase. He has to expose it so that you can acknowledge it, so that you understand that it is him that is taking it away. The problem is the adversary, the devil, begins the same way. He exposes your issues, but then his next step is to exploit it. So then how we get to the second part is all about how we deal with the first part. How do you deal with it being exposed? See, if you deal with the exposure the wrong way because you think that that's Satan and it's not, it's Yahweh, now you have reacted in a way that you have now given the adversary more ammunition to exploit what has just been exposed. We say we want to be fixed, but have you ever seen a mechanic fix something and it still look pretty during the fixing? There's a reason why they say no customers beyond this point. See, when he starts taking parts off the engine, now people start to get worried. Now, wait a minute, that ain't what I ain't never seen my carburetor like that. First of all, you ain't never seen your carburetor. All right? You ain't never seen it because this is fuel injected. So you ain't never seen your car. All right. So what I need you to do, I'm gonna need you to step back in the lobby. All right. I need you to step back in the lobby because this ain't your job. See, you not handling the exposure right. See, I got to fix this. I got to expose everything in here. But how do you deal with being exposed? If you don't handle it right, it won't be erased. Let's begin today's sermon in Acts chapter 3. See, he might have to embarrass you to get you to acknowledge it. See, some of us don't acknowledge. Some of us only acknowledge the obvious. See, we won't acknowledge you when nobody know. See, he grab it and he throw it on Front Street. Then here we go. Okay, all right. Let me tell y'all. What the hell you got to tell us? Hell, we just seen all of it. What the hell you going to tell us now? You going to show us something we didn't see? Acts chapter 3, let's start at verse 1.
Now Cephas and Johanan went up together into the temple at the hour of prayer, being the 9th hour. And a certain man, lame from his mother's womb, was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms of them that entered into the temple. Who, seeing Cephas and Johanan about to go into the temple, asked an alms. And Cephas, fastening his eyes upon him with Johanan, said, Look on us. And he gave heed unto them, expecting to receive something of them. Then Cephas said, Silver and gold I have none, but such as I have, I give you.
Now, the holy man don't have no silver and gold. But he said, I got something else though. I ain't got that money you looking for, but let me tell you something. I got something else though. Go ahead.
In the name of Yahshua HaMashiach of Nazareth, rise up and walk. And he took him by the right hand and lifted him up. And immediately his feet and ankle bones received strength.
That's better than silver and gold. See, if he gave him silver and gold, he gonna still need some silver tomorrow. But see, when you can rise up on your feet and walk, now you can go get you some silver. Okay, go ahead.
And he, leaping up, stood and walked and entered with them into the temple, walking and leaping and praising Elohim. And all the people saw him walking and praising Elohim.
Now, if it's anybody who was supposed to act like how they said somebody act when they catch the Holy Ghost, it should have been the dude with the new legs. It should have been the dude with because he ain't never walked before. Now, you know, your first time walking, you weeble wobble anyway. If it's anybody who should act strange, it should be the dude who ain't never walked. Now all of a sudden he can jump. Go ahead.
And they knew that it was he which sat for alms at the beautiful gate of the temple, and they were filled with wonder and amazement at that which had happened unto him.
So merely knowing everybody, see, sometimes the sickness has to be in continuance long enough for everybody to know it's there. So now when the healing comes, everybody know he been healed. See, if don't but 2 people know about your sickness, he really don't get no praise out of that. Because didn't nobody know you was hurt? Well, ain't no need of me coming yet. Tell a few more of your friends. Because, I mean, he ain't going to get no glory out of healing something that don't know nothing but 2 people know about. No, won't you go ahead and pass out in front of everybody? Wow, hit the floor. All right, now we cooking. Y'all is all right. See, now I'm about to get me some glory in there. He ain't got no glory, nobody know it but you and your sugar booger. You ain't told nobody but sugar booger. That's the only person know that you got a little something going on. Ain't got no glory out of that. I already got you and sugar booger. I don't need y'all to. I got y'all in the bag. But if somebody know that something happened to you and then I come and heal you, now I got somebody that ain't in that bag. But we don't want to be exposed, though. See? But what you're causing him to do is not get something outside your bag. Okay. Go ahead.
And as the lame man which was healed held Cephas and Johanan, all the people ran together unto them in the porch that is called Solomon's, greatly wondering. And when Cephas saw it, he answered unto the people, You men of Israel, why marvel you at this? Or why look you so earnestly on us, as though by our own power or holiness we had made this man to walk?
All right, so see, now it's a spectacle. Because everybody knew. He didn't have to go and tell nobody about what happened. When they saw him jumping, they said, hey, man, ain't that buddy? But no leg buddy. Ain't that no leg buddy? No leg. Man, come on now, that no leg buddy. I know I ain't never seen him standing, but I know that's no leg buddy. But it just jumped. Go ahead.
The El of Abraham and of Esaac and of Jacob, the El of our fathers, has glorified his son Yahshua, whom you delivered up, and denied him in the presence of Pilate, when he was determined to let him go. But you denied the Holy One and the just, and desired a murderer to be granted unto you, and killed the Prince of Life, whom Elohim has raised from the dead, wherefore we are witnesses. And his name, through faith in his name, has made this man strong, whom you see and know. Yes, the faith which is by him has given him this perfect soundness in the presence of you all. And now, brethren, I know that through ignorance you did it, as did also your rulers. But those things which Elohim before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets, that the anointed one should suffer, he has so fulfilled. Repent you therefore, and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out, when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Adonai. And shall send Yahshua HaMashiach, which before was preached unto you, whom the heaven must receive until the times of restitution of all things.
Wait a minute. The restitution of all things. Well, first of all, we got to deal with restitution, and then we got to deal with, restitution of all things. So there's going to be a restitution paid for all things. So this is one of the instances that we were talking about you got to do good enough, long enough for that train to come back around. Well, wait a minute. That restitution of all things has to be done. So we got to deal with something here. Let's go to Exodus chapter 22. And remember, he said restitution of all things. But you know, the way the nations tell us,
They don't need y'all bringing up that old slavery. That stuff's so old. They don't need to bring in all that old stuff.
it's folks getting checks for stuff that they said was old. I wish we would go and tell somebody,
Look, nobody want to hear about your little, what happened in the chamber. That's so old.
go and tell somebody that, see what happened to you.
Come on with it. Come on.
Tell somebody that. Go ahead and tell it. But then they tell us, look, don't worry about that stuff that happened to y'all. That's stuff old. Okay. He said restitution of all things. But it looks like everybody gets restitution except us. Exodus chapter 22, let's read verses 1 through 15.
If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep.
You can't just give back what was taken. That's not restitution. See what folk want to do, they want to take something from you, and they'll give back the same thing once you catch them 4 years later.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie.
Here we go again. Once we get caught, we the most truth-telling people ever, and I ain't gonna lie. Well, hell, you already did for 4 years. You ain't gonna lie now. You ain't gonna lie now that you can't get away with lying. That's what you mean. Come on, let's be honest about what we're lying about when we're telling the truth about what we already lied about. Come on now. Go ahead.
If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him, for he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft.
All right. He shall make full restitution. If he can't pay, hey, then you just went into debt prison. Go ahead.
If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double.
He shall restore double. Okay, we're going to find this instance of double and that it keeps appearing. Go ahead.
If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his own beast, and shall feed in another man's field, of the best of his own field and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution. If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, which another challenged to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges. And whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor.
Whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. You can't just give back that which was taken. Go ahead.
If a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass, or an ox, or a sheep, or any beast to keep, and it die, or be hurt, or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of Yahweh be between them both, that he has not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. And the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good. But if the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good, for it be an hired thing, it came for his hire.
All right, so then let's go to Isaiah chapter 61. So we have come across several instances where the pay has to be double the amount that was lost. And in some instances, you have to deal with additional statutes there. Isaiah chapter 61, and let's read verses 1 through 11.
The Spirit of the Adonai Yah is upon me, because Yahweh has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. To proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh, and the day of vengeance of our Elohim, to comfort all that mourn. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he might be glorified. And they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. But you shall be named the priest of Yahweh. Men shall call you the ministers of our Elohim. You shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall you boast yourselves. For your shame you shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double, everlasting joy shall be unto them. For I, Yahweh, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offering, and I'll direct their work in truth, and I'll make an everlasting covenant with them. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which Yahweh has blessed. I will greatly rejoice in Yahweh. My soul shall be joyful in my Elohim, for he has clothed me with the garments of salvation. He has covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decks himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorns herself with her jewels. For as the earth brings forth her bud, and as the garden causes the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so the Adonai Yah will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations.
All right, so we got to go back. Verse 3, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes. This is their restitution. Okay, and the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called the trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he might be glorified. And they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. Wait a minute, many generations. So what's happening then? Restitution is being given to Israel, but another generation is inheriting it. They are inheriting the restitution that is due from what their fathers went through. So restitution is one thing, inheritance is another thing, but then there's inherited restitution. See, what the nations want to do is let a generation die off so then they can say that they no longer have liability to deal with it. That ain't how this works. The restitution is inherited to the rest of the generations after that. See, the people who are building the waste, they are not the ones that had all of that happen to them. That happened to their ancestors. They have inherited that restitution. You can't make the restitution and say that it doesn't have to be dealt with because it didn't happen in their time. Go ahead, brother.
You know, Elder, at the end of verse 9, it also says, and all that see them shall acknowledge them.
Uh-huh.
It's going to have to be something different about them to be able to acknowledge them, right?
Right. And when Yahweh ends up showing that, hey, these people have inherited this restitution, because what happened? All of the bad deeds, didn't their children inherit them slaves? Slaves were passed down in the will. Go and read one of them old plantation wills. They'll tell you right there, I give my nigga Johnny to Sarah. So when white folks said my nigga, they really meant my nigga. I said, no, really, it's my nigga. It's right here. I got it from my father. What? Go ahead. You finished that?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 5. So they was able to inherit. They inherited the money that came from all of that doing. Then when they stopped it, they still gave them money for stopping that. That deep right there. They said, we got to find a way to so much wrong has been done to you, we done took all your niggas. We're going to give you, all right, we're going to give you welfare. What? The slave master got welfare. And they have nobody talking about, and they always talking about, all them black people on welfare. No, wait a minute. The rich people got the welfare. They had to pay them to take their slave. Now the slave sitting there in a shack down the street, but they got paid to not have the slave. Then got the slave to do sharecropping and basically working for pennies a day. So they created another system of slavery. So you free, but not really. Because to keep this going, you need to come over here. You need to get, you need to work this field, and you need to work it from sun up to sundown, just to maintain that shack that you got down there. Okay. Why does everybody else get to inherit the restitution except us? All right. 1 Timothy chapter 5.
Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, the elder women as mothers, the youngers as sisters with all purity. Honor widows that are widows indeed. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home and to requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before Elohim. Now she that is a widow indeed and desolate trusts in Elohim and continues in supplications and prayers night and day. But she that lives in pleasure is dead while she lives. And these things give in charge, that they may be blameless. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
Wait a minute. But if any provide not for his own house, and especially for those, if he provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. So we have those that are believers during Holy Convocation. But then after the Sabbath, they forget that they're supposed to take care of their own. Go ahead.
Let not a widow be taken in the number under 80 years old, having been the wife of one man. Well reported of for good works, if she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work. But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against the Mashiach, they will marry, having damnation, because they have cast off their first faith. And withal, they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not.
This is why you ought to find a job. See, when you notice there's a whole bunch of, Netflix binging and cackling, it's about to be some trouble somewhere. Hey, you ain't got nothing else you can do. There's a little bit too much cackling happening here. There's a lot of cackle. I keep hearing. I thought somebody just made some Rice Krispies and forgot to eat them, because I keep hearing snap, crackle, and damn pop. What keep happening up in here? Ain't no work being done. When ain't no work being done, there's a lot of cackling. And that cackling gonna lead to some other stuff. Busy, running from house to house.
Hey, what you doing? Nothing. What you doing? Nothing. Well, let's do nothing together.
All right, here you go. Put it in gear. Go ahead.
I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. For some are already turned aside after Satan. If any man or woman that believes have widows, let them relieve them, and let not the church be charged, that it may relieve them that are widows indeed. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor.
Now wait a minute. We start looking at restitution, and you talk about double the payment. Wait a minute. If an elder that rules well is counted worthy of double honor, then we dealing with the restitution in a good way, not restitution for bad work. Then here we go again with this double. Now, it makes a distinction now. Let the elders that rule well. You can't just come up and just say, well, he's an elder, he's old. First of all, wait. See, if you 50, people say, okay, you're an elder. But wait a minute, they started their service at 30. They put in 20 years. You 50, but you started working 2 years ago. I'm sorry, you was a toddler. You ain't sitting in the same boat as the person who started working when they 30 and now they 50. Don't think because you look over there and you say, I got the same amount of gray as Buddy. Yeah, I'm an elder. Yeah, I know. Yeah, because all the elders had that streak right there. Yeah, I got it. I looked, I saw it. Yeah, you might want to go check it. You might want to check your time clock. It don't work like that. Go ahead, brother. You finish that?
Especially they who labor in the word and doctrine.
Uh-huh.
For the scripture says, you shall not muzzle the ox that treads out the corn, and the laborer is worthy of his reward. Against an elder, receive not an accusation, but before 2 or 3 witnesses.
Right. So there's certain things that should have been shut down as soon as we heard them. And said, hey, man, that sound deep right here. Stay right here. Let me go get 2 more people. And the elder. I'll be right back. So there's certain things that carried on for 1.5 years, 2 years. They shouldn't have carried on 5 minutes. Right. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 17. You just say you know the word. Do you not walk in it? Or are you scared to walk in it?
Well, I might hurt the feelings.
What kind of servant you gonna be? Yahweh, I would have followed you, but I was gonna hurt somebody's feelings. You might well run and go jump in that lake. You are unusable. There's a reason why he asked the adversary, hey, have you considered my servant? One thing for sure, he know Lucifer wasn't scared. I go torment him. Take that edge down. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. Take it down. Let me show you what I can do. He ain't scared. The hedge forbid him. He couldn't go past that. He wasn't never scared. But here we go. Got the word and scared. Jeremiah 17, let's start at verse 9.
The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked.
God knows my heart.
That's something folks say all the time.
God knows my heart.
And normally when somebody say that, they have done absolutely one of the most foul things ever. And then they come back with God knows my heart.
So what happened? I know they called. I was in there, and there was those dead people was in there, and I had that knife in my hand. But God knows my heart.
What? Well, obviously he know they heart too, because you cut it open. Hell, we all know they heart. Hell, I see it. It's on the outside, because you opened them up. But he know your heart though. He know your heart, right? He know that it is desperately wicked. Go ahead.
Who can know it? I, Yahweh, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
Well, if he's getting according to his ways and according to his doings, then we are heaping up some restitution for ourselves. See, there's a spiritual accountant. And he's taking note. See, the way we count and the way an accountant count is different. See, we be counting in our head. The accountant got a pencil and a piece of paper, and they count each and every point. See, when we count, we miss that stuff. They be like, how much money you spent today?
I don't know about 50, 60, something like that.
We only count the big purchase.
Wait a minute, no, I went to, I had grabbed the thing. I went and at the part for the car. Remember the part for the car? And then I went down there and I went and grabbed some meat. That's all. That's all.
Now the accountant pull it out. Now wait a minute. Now I see 15 charges. 15 today? Well, wait. I'm sure I didn't make all those. I didn't. Somebody didn't hack my stuff. Somebody, ain't nobody hack your stuff. Ain't nobody hack your. No, it was all you. You signed for every last one of these. It said today you spent $479. You told me you spent 50, 60. Well, that's all I counted. 50. That's all that meant something to me. Well, wait a minute. So the other 300 something, the other damn near 400 didn't mean nothing to you? Oh, okay. So you go and buy your remembrance, but the accountant got a ledger Okay, Yahweh got an accountant. So you can go ahead with that stuff that you remember. Oh, that's cute. That is so cute. That stuff you remember. That's cute. All right. But when the accountants show up, you're going to find out there's charges on there that you done forgot you made. Okay. Them count too. He ain't limited to what you remember. Does the accountant say, you know what? You know what? All is fair. Since you don't remember making this charge, we're going to wipe it off. The hell he is. He can't balance his books like that. Okay. All right. Yahweh going to balance those books. Somebody going to pay for that charge. If it's on the sheet, it's got to be paid for. Somebody going to pay for that. Go ahead.
As the partridge sits on eggs and hatches them not, so he that gets riches and not by right shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at his end shall be a fool. A glorious high throne from the beginning is the place for our sanctuary. O Yahweh, the hope of Israel, all that forsake you shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken Yahweh, the fountain of living waters. Heal me, O Yahweh, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for you are my praise. Behold, they say unto me, where is the word of Yahweh? Let it come now. As for me, I have not hastened from being a pastor to follow you.
I have not hastened from being a pastor to follow you. Go ahead.
Neither have I desired the woeful day. You knoweth that which came out of my lips was right before you. Be not a terror unto me. You are my hope in the day of evil.
But the job that he was given was a very tumultuous job. Go ahead.
Let them be confounded that persecute me. But let not me be confounded. Let them be ashamed, be dismayed, pardon me. But let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil and destroy them with a double destruction.
But wait a minute. If he is a pastor that has followed, never stopped following Yahweh, then he then is supposed to receive the double honor of an elder. So then those that come against him then are owed double destruction. We don't really understand what we think we understand. Sometimes we end up doing stuff and we don't really understand the word like we think we understand the word. Then you done got yourself into something, you done put your foot on something, and Yahweh gonna have to take off that foot. And we're looking at somebody and you don't understand. Wait a minute. Those people have suffered somewhere else and they have put some work in that you may not have seen, and they have earned double respect. So when you step your foot on it, you done got yourself double destruction and don't even know what done happened. Okay. Let's go to Revelation chapter 18. And you know, time don't mean nothing to Yahweh. See, we wait a little while, ain't nothing happening. We think, everything's all good. That's old stuff. That was a couple of years ago. We think Yahweh done. Yahweh just stretching over in the corner. He's just stretching. What's happening? Oh, yeah, he's stretching. He about to come over there and take care of his business. 5 years was just 2 eye blinks to him. At this point, you done forgot all the wrongs you done. You done forgot what you done and who you done it to. It didn't matter. Now here comes time to pay that restitution bill. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 18 and verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, and be you not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached on to heaven, and Elohim has remembered her lawlessness. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she has filled to her double.
All right, so with the cup that she has filled to her double, she has rewarded herself double transgression, so she shall be paid double according to what she has put out. So whatever we put out there in that atmosphere is going to come back. We don't know what time it's going to come back. We don't know in what manner it's going to come back. But do understand, it's going to come back. This is why sometimes we go and we see somebody and they old and we be like, man, I feel bad for that little old lady. Say, what's going on? She going through hell. And she seems so dying. No. She was 30 years of hellion. See, when folks start getting, when you start getting older, you can't stick and move like you used to. And now you keep getting caught with them jabs. Now everybody want to act nice. No. That was a hellion for 30 years straight. Now, they hell done caught up with them. And now you say, you know what, I'm finna go over there and help the old lady. And then an angel grab you and slam you on your face and you don't understand, why did I just fall? Because now you in his business. That person who you think so sweet, they've been doing hellacious things for the last 3 decades. Now they playing on you as the sweet old lady and the sweet old man. Ain't damn thing sweet about neither one of them. But now they can't duck and dodge like they used to. Time to pay that bill. Everybody think the bill gonna come when they money right. Well, when that bill come when your money ain't right. See, when you're 25 and you do something stupid, I'm 25. What? What you talking about? When you're 55, you think you move like that, but it move like in your mind, you move like that. In reality, you wonder, why I keep getting it? I saw it coming, but I couldn't. Right. You ain't quick as you used to be now. Now the bill coming due. Okay, keep doing whatever you feel like you got to do. But the bill gonna come due. Now the question is, what your money gonna look like? Physically and spiritually. See, what is your spiritual account gonna be when it's time to pay that bill? Okay, go ahead.
How much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she says in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
I sit a queen. Success could be the biggest setup for your failure. Ain't nothing worse than not having to lose and then take a loss after you've been winning for so long. That first loss hurt. That first loss hurt. It's better off to get that first loss early. See, you get that first L, you know what it feel like. But when you 16-0, oh man, you show up to the stadium, you already won. You ain't even put the cleats on yet. You already celebrating in your mind. You already taste the champagne. They ain't even blown the first whistle yet. You celebrating, right? But when you get that L after 16-0, man, you crying over there with the kids. What happened? What happened? That success set you up. Now that failure hurts tremendously. Don't let Lucifer fool you because he back off you for a minute. Don't let him fool you. You forget how long his arms is. Okay?
Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine.
One day. One day. You know how hard it's got to be to receive all your payment in one day? Now, you've been doing wrong 400 years. But you don't get paid back Tuesday. You have any idea what 400 years of wrongdoing, what the bill got to be like for that? Go ahead.
And she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Adonai Yahweh who judges her.
For strong is the Adonai Elohim who judges her. Okay, so then when we look at this whole situation of dealing with this restitution, we find that even when it comes down to judgment, because understand, if somebody is living high off of somebody else's labor, there's some restitution that has to be paid. Okay, so if Yahweh takes care of that bill, he's all right. I'm gonna pay the restitution to these individuals. But wait a minute. Now, he got to balance his books. now, you know, I paid it from this account, but you the one that did it. So now we got to find a way to get that out of your account, that which I paid over here. So some of the stuff that we going through, he done already paid some stuff for you. But now he got to balance those books. Hold on, I already paid some restitution. I know you done forgot what you had done. See, I know you done forgot that you done did it. But you done did it, and I had to go and pay the restitution for you. I had to go take care of this business. Now, wait a minute. Now, but how are we going to balance these books? All right, well, I need you to go do some work over there. And then we so arrogant, this seems unfair. I'm over here dealing with such and such and such and such. Well, that's because you ain't seen the bill that he paid. See, now your little feeble memory has forgotten what you put out there and them leftover bills that you got. See, we know the bills that come to our address. That's real easy to check them. Our Constellation, Georgia Power, Macy's. I know those bills. Those bills are easy. No. Now, you got a bill 20 years ago that you ain't never paid. Right. That's what we're working for. Go ahead, Priest.
That was the end of that one.
All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 21. And because you don't remember it, don't mean jack. When the bill collectors call, you always got to try to figure out, now what this for again? Oh, and they have all the information down there, and you still don't remember. This is for such and such and such and such. Baby, you remember this? No, I don't remember that. They saying that we owe them for such and such. I don't even remember this. I don't think this ain't mine. Wait a minute, baby, I think you got it on. Oh. Yeah, you weighing it right now. It's got those diamonds in it. Oh, that's okay. Now that makes okay. I know. Yeah, I know how to. Yeah, hang up on them. Yeah, right. right. I know what it is now. But yeah, hang up. Okay. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 21. Let's read verses 15 through 17.
If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he makes his sons to inherit that which he has, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion of all that he has. For he is the beginning of his strength, the right of the firstborn is his.
So then we end up seeing then a connection between the restitution and then the inheritance of the firstborn. We keep dealing with this this situation of double. There is a double honor that is supposed to be paid there. So let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 12. See, sometimes you have to get off into Yahweh's word to find out what he's dealing with. Because you may be looking at something out of context and you may get yourself into some trouble. 2 Samuel chapter 12, and we're going to start with verses 1 through 16.
And Yahweh sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, There were 2 men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, save one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and nourished up. And it grew up together with him and with his children. It did eat of his own meat, and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man.
Now, all of this was to show how much he loved that little one ewe lamb that he had. Okay? Go ahead.
And he spared to take of his own flock and of his own herd.
He spared to take of his own flock, and he had many. Go ahead.
To dress for the wayfaring man which was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb, and dressed it for the man that was come to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, As Yahweh lives, the man that has done this thing shall surely die. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold.
Wait a minute now. He didn't just come off the top of his head with these numbers now. See, he understands spiritual accounting because it is in the law. So now he's coming back, all right, whatever that thing was. See? That law encompasses everything all the way across the board. It was given to him dealing with this lamb. Okay, so then all of the statutes then apply to the lamb. Go ahead.
Because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, You are the man. Thus Yahweh Elohim of Israel. Thus says Yahweh Elohim of Israel.
Now, he said, the man shall die and shall restore the lamb fourfold because he did this thing and because he had no pity. So wait a minute. There's death and restitution. The death was not the restitution. Wait a minute. Wait. See, people will see something happen to somebody and say, see, they got to pay for what they did. Oh, no. Restitution, they got to be, somebody got to still put something out there. It's some skrilla, they got to hit this hand. You understand what I'm saying to you? Where's my greenbacks, my bills, my dividends? Understand, something. No. Death does not take care of the restitution. See, people say, I know my great-granddad owned a lot of slaves, but he's dead. Well, congratulations or condolences. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But where's the skrilla that goes here? You understand what I'm talking about? The restitution still got to be paid. I don't care nothing about it. Death is not the restitution. Now, he done ordered this on his own self because he don't know it's him, but according to the law. Keep going.
I anointed you king over Israel, and I delivered you out of the hand of Saul. And I gave you your master's house, and your master's wives into your bosom, and gave you the house of Israel and of Yehudah. And if that had been too little, I would have moreover have given unto you such and such things. Wherefore have you despised the commandment of Yahweh, to do evil in his sight? You have killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and have taken his wife to be your wife, and have slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore, the sword shall never depart from your house.
Okay, now this judgment then is now going to deal with everybody in the house because of him. It says the sword shall not leave your house. Not the sword going to just deal with you. Now that's not how that works. The sword shall never leave your house. Wait a minute, you got a lot of windows in your house. You got a lot of windows in there. You got big windows. You got small windows. You got a lot of windows in here. Go ahead.
Because you have despised me and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. Thus says Yahweh, Behold, I'll raise up evil against you out of your own house.
I will raise up evil out of your own house. So now everybody in the house going to have to deal with this. And he can't tell where the evil going to come from. Go ahead.
And I'll take your wives before your eyes, and give them unto your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in the sight of this sun. For you did it secretly, but I'll do this thing before all Israel and before the sun. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against Yahweh. And Nathan said unto David, Yahweh also has put away your sin, you shall not die.
He has put away your sin, you shall not die. But the restitution still got to be paid. Now Yahweh like, look, I'm going to take care of your bill. All right? Don't you worry about how I'm going to do that. But we're going to have to balance these books, though. You're going to have to, I'm going to take care of your bill, but you're going to have to take care of this. Go ahead.
Howbeit, because by this deed you have given great occasion to the enemies of Yahweh to blaspheme, the child also that is born unto you shall surely die.
The child must die because the child will be a living blasphemy to Yahweh. The child must not live. So then a lot of people then look at this, well, you know what? That what he get. But that ain't got nothing to do with the restitution. That's not part of the payment. That's part of keeping Yahweh's name clean. See, you done put Yahweh in a situation where if that child live, then his name is tarnished. Say, this don't go on your account. That you have to suffer the loss of this child. You have to suffer the loss of the child because of your doings. But that ain't getting credited to the restitution, though. All right. See, we be counting, but I don't know what we be counting. Go ahead.
And Nathan departed unto his house, and Yahweh struck the child that Uriah's wife bare unto David, and it was very sick. David therefore besought Elohim for the child, and David fasted and went in and lay all night upon the earth.
All right, he went through a whole lot of things to see if Yahweh would be merciful. Jump to verse 24.
And David comforted Bathsheba his wife.
Because obviously the child passed, and he got up, started back eating, and got back, to get himself together. All right, now he comforts Bathsheba his wife. Wait a minute. He's comforting her. Wait a minute. She done lost the child. Go ahead.
If you even look at the twists of things, at verse 15, and it says, and Yahweh struck the child that Uriah's wife bare unto David.
Right.
You come to 24, and David comforted Bathsheba his wife.
Because see, at this point, Yahweh was like, that's still better wife. I don't care what you talking about. That child, when you got her pregnant, that was Buddy wife.
Yes, sir.
That wasn't your wife yet. So you got Buddy wife pregnant. Nah, that baby can't live. That baby can't live. Sometimes we be so fast to do something. Hey, look, slick. That baby can't live, buddy. Congratulations and condolences. Go ahead.
And David comforted Bathsheba his wife and went in unto her.
Now he got to comfort her because he put her in this situation. Even with all of the punishment that is given, not one thing was said against her because David was the man. He had all the power, all the swagger. She couldn't resist him if she tried. Remember, thousands of women sung when this man came back. So much that Saul got jealous. The king got jealous of him. Yahweh gonna take care of this business. Keep going.
And lay with her. And she bare a son, and he called his name Slomo. And Yahweh loved him. And he went, and he sent by the hand of Nathan the prophet, and he called his name Yedidiah, because of Yahweh.
All right. So he comforted her, right? Let's go to 1 Chronicles chapter 3.
First Chronicles chapter 3 and verse 1. Now these were the sons of David, which were born unto him in Hebron. The first, Amnon, of Ahaniom the Israelitess. The second, Daniel, of Abigail the Carmelitess. The third, Absalom, the son of Micaiah, the daughter of Tilmai, king of Geshur. The fourth, Adoniah, the son of Haggith. The fifth, Shephatiah of Abital. The sixth, Ithraim, by Eglah his wife. These 6 were born unto him in Hebron, and there he reigned 7 years and 6 months, and in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years.
Now it says, now these were the sons of David which were born unto him in Hebron. The firstborn, Amnon. Amnon wasn't king. Amnon, what double portion did Amnon get? It says firstborn supposed to get a double portion. Okay, keep going.
And these were born unto him in Jerusalem, Shemaiah, and Shobab, and Nathan, and Shlomo, 4 of Bathshua, the daughter of Amiel.
Now, I want you to remember that right here. Basically, when you're dealing with translations, you're going to find that they'll move around certain letters. So just like you see Bathshua instead of Bathsheba. Keep going.
Ibhar also, and Ishalama, and Eliphalet, and Noga, and Nephag, and Yaphiah, and Elishama, and Eliad, and Eliphalet, 9. These were the sons of David, besides the sons of the concubines, and Tamar, their sister.
Now, it says, and besides the sons of the concubines, so it's more children even to add to that. Now, one of the things I want you to look at, do you have the note there for Samuel 11 and verse 3?
Samuel.
I want you to read first. It was, so go to Samuel 11 and verse 3.
Samuel 11.
And I'm going to read right here, First Chronicles 3 and verse 5.
What was that, 1 Samuel?
2 Samuel 11 and 3.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to read some in First Chronicles chapter 3, and I want you to read 2 Samuel 11. It says, and these were born unto him in Jerusalem, Shimei, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, 4 of Bathshua, the daughter of Amiel. Okay, read 2 Samuel 11 and verse 3.
And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba,
Not Bathsheba, but Bathsheba. You see the change in the letters right there. Now go, keep reading.
the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?
All right, did anybody see what happened right there? Look at the name. I told you one of them. There's another one. Right. One, it says Eliam. The other one, Amiel. That's the word switched around. So one of them, it went and put the L in the beginning. The other one, it put the L at the end. So Amiel is Eliam backwards. So when you go from Hebrew and they go from right to left, somebody switched it around. Okay. All right, just figured y'all needed to see that. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 1. Come on now. That had nothing to do with the class. Hell, I just... all right. 1 Kings chapter 1. I'm sorry for wasting y'all time. Sometimes I do that. I just waste time.
1 Kings chapter 1 and verse 1. Now King David was old and stricken in years, and they covered him with clothes, but he got no heat. Wherefore his servants said unto him, let there be sought out from a master the king a young virgin, and let her stand before the king, and let her cherish him, and let her lie in your bosom, that my master the king may get heat. So they sought for a fair damsel throughout all the coasts of Israel, and found Abishag, a Shunammite, and brought her to the king. And the damsel was very fair, and cherished the king, and ministered to him, but the king knew her not. Then Adoniah, the son of Haggith, exalted himself, saying, I will be king. And he prepared him chariots and horsemen and 50 men to run before him.
Uh-huh.
And his father had not displeased him at any time in saying, Why have you done so?
So sometimes you can keep quiet and cause more problems. See, sometimes we trying to, I don't want to upset nothing. But you upsetting something by not saying something. Go ahead.
What they call it, silent consent.
Yes.
And he also was a very goodly man, and his mother bare him after Absalom. And he conferred with Joab the son of Zeruiah, and with Abiathar the priest, and they following Adoniah helped him.
Now, understand, all of these brothers that are older than Solomon feel like they have more right to the kingship than him. All right? Go ahead.
But Zadok the priest, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and Nathan the prophet, and Shimei, and Rei, and the mighty men which belonged to Dawid were not with Adoniah. And Adoniah slew sheep and oxen and fat cattle by the stone of Zoheleth.
You gotta be pretty arrogant to set a party for something that ain't nobody gave you. You know what I'm saying? You just declare yourself, I'm gonna have a king's party. I am the king. Who told you was the king? That's pretty arrogant right there. Go ahead.
Which is by Enrogel, and called all his brethren the king's sons, and all the men of Yehuda the king's servants.
He gonna call all his brethren the king's son and say, I have proclaimed myself to be king, and I called y'all to tell you about it. Go ahead.
But ain't Amnon older than him?
And?
But Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah, and the mighty men, and Shlomo his brother, he called not.
Now, he didn't call them. Why he ain't call these people? Why he ain't call these people right here? No. See, sometimes you have to wonder, why didn't I get no invitation to the party? Come on. I mean, y'all invited everybody to the party. I didn't get no invitation. I looked in the mail. I looked in the mailbox. I looked at my email. I checked my text messages. I didn't get no invitation. Right. Because they know who supposed to stand and wear the crown. He didn't get no invitation. Right. Go ahead.
Wherefore Nathan spake unto Bathsheba, the mother of Shlomo, saying, Have you not heard that Adoniah the son of Haggith does reign, and Dawid our master knows it not? Now therefore come, let me, I pray you, give you counsel that you may save your own life.
Save your own life.
And the life of your son Shlomo.
Right. Because let me tell you something. The only way, once he announced himself king, he got to kill the rightful heir. You do understand that you and your son is out of here, right? So speak now, or forever rest in peace. Go ahead.
Go and get you unto King Dawid, and say unto him, Did not you, my master, O king, swear unto your handmaid, saying, Assuredly Shlomo your son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne? Why then does Adoniah reign? Behold, while you yet talketh there with the king, I also will come in after you, and confirm your words. And Bathsheba went in unto the king into the chamber, and the king was very old.
So the question is, did the other brothers know, or did they suspect that Solomon would be king? Now, David's inner circle knows. But what about the other individuals? Because all the other brothers went. They went to Buddy Party. Okay, go ahead.
And Abishag the Shunammite ministered unto the king. And Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance unto the king. And the king said, What would you? And she said unto him, My master, you sweareth by Yahweh your Elohim unto your handmaid, saying, Assuredly Shlomo your son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon your throne, upon my throne, pardon me. And now, behold, Adoniah reigns. And now, my master the king, you knoweth it not.
Now, it keeps being said. Now, didn't you swear to me that my son was going to be king? Now, why did he swear to her that her son was going to be king?
Restitution.
Wait a minute. She only one that lost a kid. Okay. So Shlomo then inherited his mama's restitution. It wasn't even his. Keep reading.
And he has slain oxen and fat cattle and sheep in abundance, and has called all the sons of the king, and Abiathar the priest, and Joab the captain of the host. But Shlomo my servant has he not called. And you, my master, O king, the eyes of all Israel are upon you, that you should tell them who shall sit upon your throne, on the throne of my master the king after him. Otherwise it shall come to pass, when my master the king shall sleep with his fathers, that I and my son Shlomo shall be counted offenders.
Now wait a minute. You done already put her in a situation where she done lost a kid. If you don't make this move, then now she loses another kid and herself. Come on, bro. Go ahead.
And lo, while she yet talked with the king, Nathan the prophet also came in. And they told the king, saying, Behold Nathan the prophet. And when he was come in before the king, he bowed himself before the king with his face to the ground. And Nathan said, My master, O king, have you said, Adonai shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne? For he's gone down this day, and has slain oxen and fat cattle and sheep in abundance, and has called all the king's sons and the captains of the host, and Abiathar the priest, and, behold, they eat and drink before him, and say, Elohim save Adonai. But me, even me your servant, and Zadok the priest, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and your servant Shlomo, has he not called?
Right. See, all the people that you done prepared for the job, ain't none of them people invited to the party. You was gathering up all kind of materials and telling everybody about all this stuff that's got to happen, but ain't none of us got the invite. Go ahead.
Is this thing done by my master the king, and you have not showed it unto your servant, who should sit on the throne of my master the king after him? Then King David answered and said, Call me Bathsheba. And she came into the king's presence and stood before the king. And the king swore and said, As Yahweh lives, that has redeemed my soul out of all distress, even as I swear unto you by Yahweh Elohim of Israel.
Wait a minute. I swear unto you by Yahweh Elohim of Israel. Why? See, that restitution got to come from him. No, you the one that did this. The restitution got to come from him. I swear unto you. Read.
Saying, Assuredly Shlomo your son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne in my stead. Even so will I certainly do this day.
Even so will I certainly do this day. I swear unto you. Right. He's got to pay that restitution for what he had her go through. Sometimes you're looking at something and you don't know what you're looking at. Keep reading.
Then Bathsheba bowed with her face to the earth, and did reverence to the king, and said, Let my master, King David, live forever. And King David said, Call me Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada. And they came before the king. The king also said unto them, Take with you the servants of your master, and cause Shlomo my son to ride upon mine own mule, and bring him down to Gihon.
Wait a minute now. Buddy got a big party going on. Buddy got some major shindiggery happening. All right? I mean, boy, he done sent out invitation. He got, boy, they slaying oxen. Bro, they got it going on over there. And they shouting, God save the king. He said, look here, get that donkey. You know, hey, it's my donkey. Everybody knows it's mine. You know what I'm talking about? Get that one. Put him on it. How you know somebody? What they do in the hood? What? How you know Pookie was with Keisha? How you know? Keisha got on that mule, and she went right down the street. Uh-huh. Yeah. She went right down there. And made sure it was crowded when she came down there on that mule. You know what I'm talking about? What's up? Yeah, what's up? You see me? Right. Okay. All right. Put him on my mule. Same thing happened today. Put him on my mule. They gonna know it's mine. Keep reading.
And let Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet anoint him their king over Israel, and blow you with the trumpet and say, Elohim save King Shlomo. Then you shall come up after him, that he may come and sit upon my throne, for he shall be king in my stead. And I have appointed him to be ruler over Israel and over Yehudah.
Right. Let them go ahead and throw their party. Just put him on the mule. That's all I do. Let him ride, and then tell him to come and sit. That's all you do. Ride, then sit. That's going to take care of the business. They can do all they got to do. But this going to take care of the business. Okay. He had a debt to pay. And he needed to pay that debt while he was still breathing. Okay. Let's go to Ruth chapter 4. Ruth chapter 4, and let's start that at verse 1.
Then went Boaz up to the gate, and sat him down there. And, behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by, unto whom he said, Ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down.
So you find that Boaz is interested in this woman, but there's a certain legal situation that has to be dealt with. So then he has to be cunning in how he deals with this matter. Go ahead.
And he took 10 men of the elders of the city, and said, Sit you down here. And they sat down. And he said unto the kinsman, Naomi that is come again out of the country of Moab sells a parcel of land, which was our brother Elimelech's. And I sought to advertise you, saying, Buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if you will not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know, for there is none to redeem it besides you, and I am after you.
I am after you. So being that he is after him, he could have just gone and got the property. But because there's somebody in front of him, he has to go in that route. So he is dealing with the property. He ain't mentioned what he actually going for. Go ahead.
And he said, I'll redeem it.
So the other relative said, I get the property. Done deal. I need some more property. I was thinking to myself. I said, man, you know what? I'm gonna build me a summer house. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, thank you for telling me about this, bro. Go ahead.
Then said Boaz, What day you buy the field of the hand of Naomi, you must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I don't know if I told you about the land. You have to marry the woman too, and raise up seed, and then that's gonna be within your inheritance. Go ahead.
The kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself.
There we go. See, this is really what he want to start with. He don't want the land. He don't need no more land. He don't want the field. He want what come with the field. Go ahead.
Least I mar mine own inheritance. Redeem you my right to yourself, for I cannot redeem it.
Right. See, I'm gonna mess up my inheritance. I already promised these people some stuff. See? So you go ahead and get it, because I can't do it. Go ahead.
Now this was the manner in former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing. For to confirm all things, a man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor. And this was a testimony in Israel. Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, Buy it for you. So he drew off his shoe. And Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, You are witnesses this day that I bought all that was Elimelech's and all that was Kilion's and Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead on his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. You are witnesses this day. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, we're witnesses. Yahweh make the woman that is come into your house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel, and do you worthily in Ephrathah, and be famous in Bethlehem. And let your house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Yehudah, of the seed which Yahweh shall give you of this young woman. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, Yahweh gave her conception, and she bare a son. And the women said unto Naomi, Blessed be Yahweh, which has not left you this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. And he shall be unto you a restorer of your life, and a nourisher of your old age. For your daughter-in-law, which loves you, which is better to you than 7 sons, has borne him. And Naomi took the child, and laid it in her bosom, and became nurse unto it. And the women, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, There's a son born to Naomi. And they called his name Obed. He is the father of Yessi, the father of Dawid.
Wait a minute. So then we have the lineage of Dawid coming forth, dealing with this Moabitess woman. That the other individual said, you know what, I don't want him, I'm going to mar my own inheritance if I deal with that woman. Here is where Dawid comes from. Go ahead.
Now these are the generations of Pharez. Pharez begot Hezron, and Hezron begot Ram, and Ram begot Amminadab, and Amminadab begot Nahshon, and Nahshon begot Salmon, and Salmon begot Boaz, and Boaz begot Obed, and Obed begot Yessi, and Yessi begot Dawid.
All right, so now we're talking about the lineage dealing with Dawid. But when we examine that, we have to look at some things. See, sometimes the women don't understand how important they are within a process. The property goes to a man, but it goes through a woman. What did he say? I gave you your master's house and your master's wives. To get the property, he had to get the women. The reason that individual, Boaz, other kinsmen said, now I can't get the land because that land is attached to a woman. I can't, not because then I'm going to have to marry her and then I'm going to have to raise up seed. I can't afford to do that. But see, if our women don't understand, the adversary is attempting to acquire all of our land by getting them. And we've fallen for what we see on every commercial and every TV show. Everything is showing our women with somebody else. Right. And before you know it, they're going to lay stake and claim to everything that we have. They did it before. They said, I'm Jewish to my mama. What happened when they find out that the real Jew is you? They're going to tell the same lie. I'm Jewish to my mama. Because I got one of those. Right. You better pay attention while the game is being played. Let's go to Genesis chapter 12. Everybody understand the game while it's over. You always know how you lost when the dude slapped the card on the table. Genesis chapter 12. And let's read verses 10 through 20.
And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, Behold, now, I know that you are a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see you, that they shall say, This is his wife. And they will kill me, but they will save you alive. Say, I pray you, that you are my sister, that it may be well with me for your sake, and my soul shall live because of you.
My soul shall live because of you, because if they think that I'm your husband, I'm dead. Go ahead.
And it came to pass that when Abram was coming to Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman that she was very fair.
The Egyptians went right in. They hey, buddy, who that? Go ahead.
The princes also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house.
Just like that. Go ahead.
And he entreated Abram well for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen and he asses and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels. And Yahweh plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife.
Now, man, when you looking at this from the outside in, this just seemed downright unfair. So this man done told her, look, say you my sister. Then he done got all kind of riches for his sister wife. But wait, Yahweh not done. Keep going.
And Pharaoh called Abram and said, What is this that you have done unto me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Why said you, she is my sister? I might have taken her to me to wife. Now therefore behold your wife, take her and go your way. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away and his wife and all that he had.
So what happened right here? This is a real strange occurrence. But Yahweh just used that woman to give him substance. He let her go in the house. Yahweh wouldn't let nobody touch her. He plagued the man in the house. Yahweh knew what the whole deal was. He said, now take all that you got, your wife, and go. Take all your stuff. Right. Yahweh said, well, that's my daughter. You got to pay me to look at her. She look nice, don't it? Look at that. That's nice, man. Yeah. Pay for that. That's gonna cost you. No, pay him. Oh, I saw you look again. 3 goats. That's 3 goats. Look at now. See, you look too long. Now I need two cattle for that one right there. No, you went down and came back up. You gotta pay. You gotta pay for that. You gotta pay for that. Right. Yahweh said, no. I'm gonna use her, and you gonna get paid. Now go get your woman and all your stuff and go out. Wait a minute. The whole earth and the fullness therein is his, right? Yahweh just said, look here, I want you to stop over here and pick up some of my stuff. What? It's his earth. You don't own nothing in his earth. What do you own in his earth? That's his stuff. Go over there. Get some stuff. I got a warehouse over there. His name Pharaoh. Now go over there to that warehouse I got, and you gonna get some stuff, and then you gonna go on about your way. Don't stay there. Just stay there long enough to get some stuff out the warehouse. I've been storing some stuff there for you. Okay. All right. Did you finish that, bro?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, until we start looking at marriage as Yahweh does, in a sense of giving away his daughter, we will not understand the importance of how to treat one another. We must consider when a man gives his daughter away for marriage, he has no problem showing off his weaponry, making sure that the young man understands how much he loves his daughter. We will show off our brand new rifle. We will show off the multiple magazines that we have. We will show off how we have decked this weapon out. Do you see the scope on this thing here? What I'm saying to you, young man, is I ain't got to be right near you. You understand what I'm saying to you? Look, young man, I want you to look at this. Look at it. Look at the weight on it. You see the way it's perfectly balanced? Do you see that, young man? What I'm saying is, I can crouch down in Augusta and hit you in Kakalaka. You understand what I'm saying to you? Okay, all right. Now, if we don't have no problem doing that, do you think Yahweh has a problem doing that when we marry one of his daughters? And I guarantee you his weaponry is much better than ours. And until we understand you asking him for his daughter, you might want to be careful how you treat his daughter. Because his weaponry is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And until we understand that, we're not really understanding this process. Now, the women don't understand it because they feel like they have to avenge themselves. When you can't discipline no king, you got to learn to go sit down somewhere. See, I know when Yahweh come and deal with me, I'll be done something. And I've been told at my house you was insensitive that day. You hurt my feelings. I'm like, man, stay. Anybody trying to hear that? Then I go to work and somebody get on my nerves so damn bad. And I was like, damn, I must have hurt their feelings. See, I realized, all right, this him coming to get me. But what happened though? If the female try to come get me, now you ain't disciplining no king. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna show you what that crown do. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta learn to sit back and let Yahweh do his job. Oh, and he'll come get you about one of his daughters. Don't you worry. He done came to visit me a few times. Then I know I got to go home. Darling, it takes a man to admit when he's been wrong. Darling, I've been a fool, and I'm sorry. It take a real man to go home. All right, go home, all right? All right? I might be carrying my head in the bag, all right? But hey, look here. Once I pull my head out and put it back on, all right, look here. Things didn't go well today. And it won't just be about the women. What? Hey, them sons, them little girls, those his daughters too. I done got into it with one of my daughters before. Went to work, had one of the worst days ever. She went to school, had a bad day. That was Yahweh that came in and slapped both of us. Now y'all shut the hell up. Both of y'all. Okay. He take care of his business. But do you understand when he shows up? He'll deal with his son and his daughter like it ain't nothing. Just so one don't think, oh, I have the reign over this and I can do whatever I want. That ain't how it works. Okay, let's go to Genesis chapter 41.
Genesis chapter 41 and verse 37. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the spirit of Elohim is?
Can we find a man who has the spirit of Elohim dwelling upon him? Go ahead.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as Elohim has showed you all these, there's none so discreet and wise as you are.
Right. Yahweh has given you a gift to be able to understand all of what's happening. So then now you need to be promoted with authority. Now, with this authority comes some things. Go ahead.
You shall be over my house, and according to unto your word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain upon his neck.
To this day, you know when a brother got something going on, he got a gold chain and a ring. This is antiquity. We in Genesis. This is cross culture. Go ahead.
And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had.
Wait a minute. He gave him a chain, a ring, and a car. All right. Okay. He got wait a minute. So he got a new job. new gold chain, new ring, new car. Boy, stop. Boy, stop. But all I see is blackness. When I read, I can't see nothing. I don't know what anybody else. I can't see nothing but blackness when I open this book here. Boy, stop. Boy, read, man.
And they cried before him, bowed the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without you shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zephanath-Paneah, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, the priest of On.
So, you can't just, wait a minute now, you the man now. And you can't just be married in no kind of body, you know what I'm saying? You can't just get, you know what I'm saying? You can't get Jenny from the block. You can't do that. See, you the man now. See, you riding in one of my chariots. I done gave you my chariot. Everybody know, you know, what kind of status that is. You have to pick from one of these over here. Now I picked this one right here for you. See that you can't eat low on the cow. You got to go up high. You got to go up high. See, I'm gonna give you read, bro, read. Hurry up, read.
You know, Elder, as we can
I
see
told you
here,
to read. Didn't I? That's all right. What you got?
we can see here that he got the job. He started getting the bling, got established, got the car, then he got the wife.
What you say? What did you say?
So he got all that, just like Adam. He had a job, got established, and then he got a wife.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
It's order in this thing. Yes, See, we want to get the woman. We ain't got no chariot. Hey, man, read, man. Read. Didn't I tell you to read? Didn't I tell you to read before I get in some more trouble? Read, man.
And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went in throughout all the land of Egypt.
All right. Let's go to Esther chapter 3. Ain't no need to clean your throat. Ain't no need to clean your throat. It ain't never gonna get clear. It ain't never gonna get clear. Somebody get that man some water.
Woo!
Esther chapter 3, we're gonna read verses 1 through 10.
After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, Why transgress you the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman, to see whether Mordecai matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Yehudim. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Therefore Haman sought to destroy all the Yehudims that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, that is in the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot, before Haman from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, There's a certain people, scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of your kingdom. And their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
Now, if you notice, there's a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces. All the children of Israel ain't together.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I'll pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business, to bring it into the king's treasuries. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman the son of Hammedatha, the Haggagite, the Jehudim's enemy.
All right, so we have these instances of a ring being given, and the ring has something to do with authority. Okay? I want you to read the note on Luke chapter 15 and verse 22. This is when the prodigal son returns home.
Don't have that note.
Luke chapter 15 and verse 22. I'll read it. But the father said to his servants, bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. So once again, we have this ring being given, but these are all men getting these rings. Now, let's go to Esther chapter 2. I want you to read verses 15 through 18.
Now when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing but that Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appointed, and Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her. So Esther was taken unto the king Ahasuerus into his house royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tabeth, in the 7th year of his reign. And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in the sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release to the provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king.
All right, so to show her authority, she was given a crown. All right, let's go to Genesis chapter 24. Genesis 24, and I want you to start at verse 12.
And he said, O Yahweh Elohim, my master, Abraham, I pray you, send good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass, that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down your pitcher, I pray you, that I may drink. And she shall say, drink, and I'll give your camels drink also. Let the same be she that you have appointed for your servant Esau, and thereby shall I know that you have showed kindness unto my master. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that, behold, Rebekah came out, who was born unto Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well, and filled her pitcher, and came up. And the servant ran to meet her, and said, let me, I pray you, drink a little water of your pitcher. And she said, drink, my master. And she hasted, and let down her pitcher upon her hand, and gave him drink. And when she had done giving him drink, she said, I'll draw water for your camels also, until they have done drinking. And she hasted, and emptied her pitcher into the trough, and ran again onto the well to draw water, and drew for all his camels. And the man, wondering at her, held his peace, to wit, whether Yahweh had made his journey prosperous or not. And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking, that the man took a golden earring, a half of a shekel weight, and 2 bracelets for her hands of 10 shekels weight of gold, and said, whose daughter are you? Tell me, I pray you, is there room in your father's house for us to lodge in? And she said unto him, I'm the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, which she bare unto Nahor. She said moreover unto him, we have both straw and provender enough and room to lodge in. And the man bowed down his head and worshipped Yahweh. And he said, blessed be Yahweh Elohim of my master Abraham, who has not left destitute my master of his mercy and his truth. I being in the way, Yahweh led me to the house of my master's brethren. And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out onto the man, onto the well. And it came to pass, when he saw the earring and bracelets upon his sister's hand, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister.
So he noticed right away the earring and the bracelets upon his sister's hand. He knows something done changed. Go ahead.
Ran to words of Rebekah his sister, saying, Thus spake the man unto me, that he came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camels at the well.
Jump to verse 49.
And now, if you will deal kindly and truly with my master, tell me, and if not, tell me that I may turn to the right hand or to the left. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, The thing proceeds from Yahweh. We cannot speak unto you bad or good.
Right. If the thing comes forth from Yahweh, it don't matter what we think. Go ahead.
Behold, Rebekah is before you. Take her and go, and let her be your master's son's wife, as Yahweh has spoken. And it came to pass that, when Abraham's servant heard their words, he worshipped Yahweh, bowing himself to the earth. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment, and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things.
All right. So I want you to read. Do you have the
Yes,
note for
bracelets?
Yes, read that. Because when her brother saw the bracelets is when he knew something had changed. Read that.
Bracelets from H6781, Samid. From H6775, a bracelet or arm clasp, generally a lid, bracelet covering.
All right, so bracelet covering. I need to go back to graphic 22. That was from graphic 23. Let me get the graphic for 22. The word rendered bracelet from a root which signifies to join or couple together, may imply whatever may clasp around the arms and legs, for rings and ornaments are worn round both by females in India and Persia. The small part of the leg and the whole arm from the shoulder to the wrist are generally decorated in these way. As these were given to Rebekah for her hands, it sufficiently distinguished them from similar ornaments for the ankles. So when you read the definition that you just read, it said bracelet or covering. Read the roots going to that. Go to the next graphic.
H6775, Samad, a primitive root to link, that is, gird, figuratively to serve, mentally, contrive, fasten, frame, join self.
To join self, then this bracelet was used for that. So we keep hearing about all of these things. Where's the wedding ring? Because I ain't seen nobody get no wedding ring yet. All the men were given rings as a symbol of authority. Ain't no ring change hands. Ain't no ring from no woman. Ain't no ring for no man. Where they at? He knew something had happened with his sister when he saw them bracelets. He said, no, that bracelet, it's about to be a marriage. He ain't see no ring. Okay, let's go to Genesis chapter 38. Genesis 38, let's read verses 15 through 18.
When Yehudah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Go to, I pray you, let me come in unto you. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What will you give me, that you may come in unto me? And he said, I'll send you a kid from the flock. And she said, Will you give me a pledge till you send it? And he said, What pledge shall I give you? And she said, Your signet, and your bracelets, and your staff that is in your hand.
Wait a minute now. So we're gonna have to deal with what this signet is, all right, because she said, give me these things as a token. She's not keeping that. That is just supposed to be what she's holding until he brings the kid or the goat. Okay? Go ahead.
And he gave it her and came in unto her, and she conceived by him.
All right. So he gave her his bracelet. He didn't understand what he was doing. I want you to go to the next graphic and read the definition of signet.
From H2368. Kotam. Kotam from H2856. A signature ring. Seal. A signet.
Okay. So a man had a ring for a symbol of authority for a reason. So today, if we do something legal, we sign our names, the other person sign their name, and then we get a notary to stamp a seal on it. The individuals who are doing this business take their ring, put it in the ink, put the ink on the paper. That is his signet, the symbol that he has authorized this business dealing. You ain't got no business, you don't need no ring. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we see what the ring was used for. The ring ain't got nothing to do with no wedding. Let's go to Daniel chapter 6. See, we don't let these folks get us into all kind of stuff. And see, sometimes we get all off in the mess, and the mess don't end up prospering us. You know, I did some work for this guy, and he said he ended up spending all this money for his daughter's wedding because she wanted the fairy tale wedding. He told her, let me just put the money down for a house. She said, no, I want what I saw on TV. I want the fairy tale wedding. They got divorced a couple of years later. He said, if I had bought you the house, you would no doubt have had the house and would have had right to the house because you would have paid the down payment through me. Now you got nothing. Going after the fairy tale and end up with goose egg. Right. Okay. Daniel chapter 6 and read verses 16 through 18.
Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Your Elohim whom you serve continually, he will deliver you. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his masters.
Wait a minute, the king got a signet. Why? Because he do business. All right? He got a ring because he does business. Okay. Did you finish that?
That the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel.
All right. That means it was sealed. You see his stamp. He stamped it with his ring. This is the seal of the king. All right. Well, let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 16. See, when Laban seen those bracelets on Rebecca's arm, he said, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. Well, let's see if we can back into this up somewhere else. Because, you know, they could have just been doing something crazy. You know, people do crazy stuff. Ezekiel chapter 16, let's start at verse 8.
Now when I passed by you and looked upon you, behold, your time was the time of love.
Now, Yahweh talking about Israel now. Go ahead.
And I spread my skirt over you and covered your nakedness. Yes, I swear unto you and entered into a covenant with you, says Yahweh Elohim, and you became mine.
Wait a minute. He said you became mine. I married you at this point. Go ahead.
Then washed I you with water. Yes, I thoroughly washed away your blood from you, and I anointed you with oil. I clothed you also with broidered work, and shod you with badger skin, and I girded you about with fine linen, and I covered you with silk. I decked you also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon your hands.
I'm sorry, what?
And I put bracelets upon your hands.
And then what he do?
And a chain on your neck.
Wait a minute. He said, I married you. I gave you bracelets. Where the wedding ring at? Where the wedding ring at? Yahweh said, I married Israel. I put bracelets on her. I put a chain on her. Where the ring at? Oh, okay. Oh, Yahweh don't do that. Go ahead.
And I put a jewel on your forehead and earrings in your ears.
Wait a minute. That brother went in and he put an earring on Rebecca and put them bracelets on her hand. Okay. All right, keep reading, brother.
And a beautiful crown upon your head.
Uh-huh.
Thus was you decked with gold and silver.
Now, look here. I don't want to hear no email. Pre-suck said we ain't got to get this. Hey, look. Don't send your emails in. All right? Hey, look here. Hey, don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Go ahead.
And your raiment was of fine linen and silk and broidered work. You did eat fine flour and honey and oil, and you was exceeding beautiful, and you did prosper into a kingdom.
Right. This is how Yahweh dealt with his business. When he says, I put my skirt over you, I covered you, you became mine, he brought forth bracelets, a chain. Go ahead.
And your renown went forth among the heathen for your beauty, for it was perfect through my comeliness, which I had put upon you, says the Adonai Elohim.
All right. That is all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.